Hey, Steph, it's Jason Dumas with Crown Force Sports. I know you don't really think of it this way, and obviously you're so accomplished in your career, but do you feel like you're in, the best zone of your career or one of the best zones of your career with the basketball you've been playing over the last couple of weeks?
100%. But I mean, it's all about what's happening now. I don't compare it to really anything in terms of what has happened in the past. Like, I obviously know the levels I've been at and our team's been at, and where we're trying to go as a team. But definitely in terms of how I'm playing, like I've saying it for a while, I feel confident and strong and in rhythm, and it's a good feeling, and want to keep getting better. That's the goal.
Hi, Steph. Janie McCauley from AP. Juan Toscano Anderson said it's like being in a video game, playing alongside you, watching you. He's celebrating before your shot even leaves your hands. Do you feel like you're in a video game sometimes?
I honestly don't play that many video games, so I don't even know. But it's stuff that I work on, and I'm having fun. That's the biggest thing when you get to play basketball at this level every night, and see the work pay off, and continue to get better with your teammates, and bring joy to the floor. That's obviously a great feeling. And when other guys feed off of that and notice it and feel it out there, that makes it all worth it.
Steph, you said you don't really pay attention to the numbers, but media do, and your numbers this season look like the 2016 season. Would you like to be in the MVP conversation this year?
The game speaks for itself, and 15, 16, 14, 15, those 2 years is the exact same kind of conversation. Obviously that's an amazing accomplishment, and being in that conversation with all that we've been through these last 2 or 3 years, that means something. Those narratives make themselves as you go throughout the season, and my job is obviously to just be at the level that I expect to be, and usually that means you're at the top at the end of the season. So I really try not to get distracted by that, because it kind of taints the moment. And really right now, if I'm doing my job, then I'll be there at the end of the season, and that'll take care of itself.
Steph, and going off what Kerry just asked, I think the biggest knock that people have on you right now is wins and losses. Should that be taken into consideration, do you think, for the MVP race?
It always has, and it always will. And like I said, those narratives, you could always make judgments based on what you value and what you see, and numbers and wins and losses and the eye test and all that type of stuff. It's kind of what makes the beauty of that award in general, because everybody has a different take on what it means. Sometimes the goalposts do change, though, for sure. So it's just a matter of, again, doing my job. And if that means people want to, put me in that conversation or any of the other guys, then, that's amazing. If not going to change how I approach the game.
Steph, how old were you when you sort of started feeling I can shoot from anywhere?
I mean, 9 probably, but it's like the idea of, like, you have an imagination, creativity of what you feel like is possible, but that continues to evolve at every level that you get to, and the more work that you put in. And probably when I was 24, it was like the time you start to really think, okay, this could be something at the highest level. So, you work on your craft, year after year after year after year, you continue to get better. Your confidence grows, your imagination grows. You prove that you can do it on the court with the reps, and it kind of builds on itself that way.
When you were 9, how far out could you make it from?
About 18 feet. It's pretty solid. No, actually, I take that back. No, that's actually right. Because when I was 11 or 12, was when my dad was in Toronto. That's when we started to really shoot from, like, NBA range. But yeah, not under AAU. It was deadly with the 18-footer.
Thanks.
Steph, you guys have come. Oh,
Sorry, go ahead.
Steph, you guys have come a long way since the season opener and the last time you played the Brooklyn Nets. How much are you looking forward to Saturday, and what do you think that rematch will be like and meeting KD again?
It'll be totally different. They're a different team. Obviously with James and just that three-headed monster. So I think KD will be back. From the health and safety protocols and all that, and they're still figuring themselves out in terms of how they're going to coexist and play. And obviously when you have three guys like that, when they all click, you've seen it. Offensively, they're unbelievable. So it's going to be a huge task for us. It's going to be fun, and looking forward to it.
This will be Durant's first game back in the Bay Area. How do you remember those 3 years?
2 championships, for unfortunate ending with injuries and not getting it done in the 19 finals, but it was, some of the best basketball that I think the world has ever seen. And, the ability to put that much talent and experience together and make it work. There was no guarantee that it was gonna work, and we figured it out, and it was an amazing run, and one that when it's all said and done, we'll remember. The heights that we accomplished and achieved, and that was an amazing 3 years of a moment in time.
Obviously, you guys played Kevin to start the season, but what do you think the emotions will be like having him in here for the first time and having him play against you for the first time in the Bay since he left?
I mean, honestly, it's going to be – I don't know how don't get me wrong when I say how special it'll be, because it's not at Oracle and there are no fans. So it's kind of weird, like just that whole vibe. And, I know we got a tribute video, which he obviously deserves, and hopefully will be some, a moment that he'll appreciate. But outside of that, it is kind of weird. I mean, to be honest, in terms of all the things that have changed, since 18-19. So, I'm sure you ask him how he'll feel, and he'll probably say it's another game, and that's kind of how it'll end up being once the ball drops on Saturday.
What's the Durant moment you think about most when you think about those years?
Obviously, probably the game 3 shot in 17. Just because that was the best basketball I think we've all experienced on both sides. That Cavs team was amazing. We were amazing, and every game was special. And that shot was one that was obviously iconic in terms of us getting over the hump in Game 3 and ended up winning that championship. But it was an amazing moment for him, cementing himself as a champion.
Whenever the time does come, who do you think gives the speech?
Say what?
Whenever the time does come, whenever you guys celebrate him with everybody here, who do you think gives the speech?
Oh, I have no idea. It's a great question. We got a year to figure it out.
Steph, kind of changing the subject away from KD. A couple minutes ago, you're talking about, as you get better and better and better, you think that you can shoot like this consistently, do all these things consistently. Then defenses start throwing more and more at you. What do you remember from those earlier conversations with Steve Kerr about how to deal with those defenses, and how have those conversations evolved as teams throw more at you?
A lot of it is just the ability to switch up the looks, where it's not just me at the top of the key running pick and roll, which is obviously at times a great look, and me and Draymond, and the space that we can create if there's a lot of tension on me. But there's no secret of how I like to play, on and off the ball and being able to create, flow where that attention opens up shots for other people. It's a great way to play basketball, and everybody feels involved, and it becomes really hard to guard and unpredictable in that sense. And I can still find shots even if they're sending double teams and all that, because you can't really keep up all over the court if I'm continuing to move and everybody's in rhythm. And that was what he wanted to put in his first year. It took us a while to get there, and now we're having to kind of recreate it a little bit, and we're getting better at it. And it's again, it's a fun way to play because you never know what's going to happen on every possession.
Do you ever impress yourself when you dribble through an entire team's defense and make some acrobatic layup? Do you ever kind of sit back and say, like, wow, I just did that?
Sometimes, for sure. That's why I like to have fun with the game. And you see some of the celebrations that come out just naturally. It's kind of those moments.
Juan said today, Steph, that he's having the best time of his life. Are you having fun right now?
For sure. This is a new experience for everybody. Like, we've had a lot of ups and downs, and we've embraced the challenge. And winning is fun. So if you asked me 2 games ago, I probably would have said no. And then these 2 games, it's when it clicks, it's a good feeling. You want to put those together more and more. I know Juan T is getting an opportunity, and he's proven he belongs on this level, and he contributes to winning basketball. And I know for him to understand and appreciate his impact on that, but also how what we're trying to build towards it. It means a lot for a guy that has been on the journey he's been. So he gets the team aspect of what we're trying to do.
And Steve said that he reminds him of a smaller Draymond, and Mully said on NBC Sports Bay Area that Juan reminds him of Matt Barnes. Who do you see, or what do you see on Juan?
I mean, you always have comparisons and traits that you kind of take to define a player, but he's his own special talent, and is gonna create his own niche. So I mean, they're right. There's similarities, but he's his own man, his own player, and he's doing it the way that he knows how, and that's gonna carry him a long way.
Hey, Steph, Coach Kerr kind of compared you to a veteran quarterback, just in terms of having seen so much in this stage of your career that you can kind of read defenses better. LeBron said similar things about getting to a point in your career where you've seen every type of defense. Do you feel this season that mentally and basketball IQ-wise, you're seeing the game at a different level?
I mean, I better. It's part of, the evolution of being around as long and having a kind of consistent system that you've learned to master and bring new guys along into it. So, if I'm the same player I was 4 years ago, then I'm losing. And I don't think that's the case, obviously, but you got to find different ways to continue to get better and use those experiences and reps to your advantage, and that's what I'm trying to do.
NBA history is often kind of discussed in duos, and I know you and Kevin only played 3 years together, but do you ever think about yourself as a historic duo with him up there with some of the best?
Yeah, we won championships, so that definitely qualifies, and we obviously did it, with the rest of the guys. We elevated each other's game, and where that ranks and all that's not for us to say, but definitely there'll be that connection for a lifetime.
Steph, Mark Haynes from Clutch Points. You mentioned earlier that it's no fans, so the game won't be as special with KD coming back. But if the fans were there, how would you think they would greet him?
I mean, hopefully it would be nothing more than standing ovation and giving him the respect, he deserves as a champion, and what he gave to us for 3 years. That should be pretty straightforward. There should be no surprises there because he deserves it.
Steph, William Hammers with Sports Fans Rap.
Guys, last one right here.
Yeah, I really love that the Black History Month spot you did. I'm just curious, was that something that you designed, and how important is to get that message about pretty much every month is Black History?
Amazing idea from we have an amazing campaign that the Warriors are stepping up with the Beyond 28 and highlighting and celebrating amazing figures in Black history, but also trying to understand that this is a 365 24/7 opportunity to highlight Black culture, Black excellence, and continuing the conversation need to happen. So obviously happy to be a part of extending that message and creating energy behind it. And, obviously a total team effort in terms of how you act on that and not just be about campaigns. It goes way deeper than that.
Thanks.